Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Favorite with Flavor. So today I am bringing you a classic, delicious Southern meal, smothered pork chops. So if you guys want to see how I make that, you already know what to do. Stay tuned. So this dish is so easy to make. You only need a few ingredients. So starting out, you're going to need, of course, your pork chops, a cup of flour, one onion sliced, and then your seasonings, which I used garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, seasoned salt, smoked paprika, Adobo all-purpose seasoning, but you can use whatever seasonings that you want to use. You're also going to need 3.5 cups of water or chicken broth and 2 tablespoons of butter for later on. I did not have chicken broth, so I did use water, and I added some chicken bouillon seasoning to that water. Okay? Now, before you get started seasoning your meat, you want to make sure that you wash it. So I have already washed and rinsed mine off. I did not pat dry because a little bit of moisture is good to ensure that that flour is going to stick. So in the flour, I used the same seasonings that I used to season my meat. I also added that to the flour as well, okay? You guys don't mind those nails, all right? I tried to go get them done on Saturday and everything was packed, so I have an appointment for this weekend. Don't come for me. So now that we have our meat all seasoning, now you want to start flouring your meat. So I'm patting in the flour to ensure that it sticks, but I'm also going to shake off that excess flour that's on there. And then all you want to do is sit it over onto a rack so that you can let that flour sit to ensure that it has grabbed onto the meat, okay? Now in a skillet, I have about maybe a 1/4 cup of oil that I already had heating up. You want to make sure that your oil is hot so that when you put your chops in there, they don't just sit there and start soaking up that oil, okay? So my heat is probably on like a medium high at this point. I did let those pork chops cook on both sides for about 4 to 6 minutes per side. We don't want to cook this all the way through. We just want to ensure that there's a good crust on it, okay? So now that is that golden brown color, we're going to remove and then repeat the process. That way we haven't overcrowded our skillet. So here I'm just dumping out just a little bit of oil and making sure I leave about a tablespoon, and I'm going back in to saute up my onion. Now at this point, you want to go ahead and add your 2 tablespoons of butter and saute that with your onions. Now that flour that you floured your pork chops in, you don't want to throw that away. Keep that because that's what we're going to use to add on top of our onions, okay? And to go ahead and start, this is the base for our gravy that we're going to make, all right? Homemade gravy, no packets. It's very easy. Now you want to come in with your chicken broth or your water. Like I said, I didn't have chicken broth, so I just used 3.5 cups of water, and I added chicken bouillon seasoning to it. Now I did add just a little bit, not the entire cup, because I wanted to be sure that this wouldn't be too thin, and if it was too thick, I can always add more liquid to it, okay? Now as you can see here, it is thickening up, and I'm just going back in with the rest of my liquid that I had, okay? You can always add to, but you can't take away. So you want to make sure that you're adding in your ingredients to your gravy slowly. So now this is a bright color. So I'm just going to go in with some Kitchen Bouquet, that browning seasoning, and just add maybe like a capful, okay? Maybe like a teaspoon into it, just so we can darken up our gravy just a little bit. I do like mine just a little bit darker. So you're just going to mix that in as you see here, get that nice and smooth. And boom, it's coming all together. So at this point, you want to taste your gravy and see if you need any seasonings. So I did go back and add in a little Cajun seasoning, a tad bit more seasoned salt, and some more garlic powder, along with some parsley. Again, add in your ingredients slowly to your gravy because you can always add to, but you can't take away. So now you want to go and add in your pork chops to this gravy, and you're going to allow this to cook for about 30 to maybe 40 minutes. I did let mine go for 35 minutes today because my chops were a little on the thinner side. So just put your chops in that gravy. Try to take the a little bit of the gravy and spoon it over your chops, and then you're going to put your lid on, and you're going to let this cook from anywhere to 30 to 40 minutes depending on the size of your chops. And I do have this at a simmer, okay? You want to simmer this. You don't want to cook this on a medium high or a medium, all right? So now it is time to plate this bad boy up, okay? It's time to eat. So I did serve mine with some white rice, also some candied yams, and some green beans, okay? That was requested by my family, so that's what I made them today. And oh my God, look at that pork chop, y'all. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. Okay, it's time to eat. I wish you guys could smell the house because it smells like a whole lot of love. And you know my saying, boom, okay? This is this dish, okay? If you guys make this, let me know in the comments what you think. Again, you already know when you're in the kitchen, you are favored with the flavor. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And I will see you all next time.